Behind the walls of a facility that was meant to protect children lies a story. And we're going to get into it. And it is a story of Emily Pike. Many of you may not heard of Emily Pike because the story wasn't widely publicized. And we are not quite sure why, but we're going to get into some theories as to the possibilities. Now, she was a member at Sacred Journeys in Mesa, Arizona, and she went missing. Now, she is 14 years old at the time of her disappearance, and nobody reported her until the authorities within her tribes brought it to the attention of authorities. Now, we're going to go through the timelines of what happened, what her history was, and then go into what possibly could come as a result of her disappearance. Now, she had a history of running away from these facilities. It was a foster care facility, and she had a history of running away. She ran away twice, one in 2023 and then again recently in 2025. Now, before that, three other times when she disappeared. Now, the tribal members considered her a sweet, kind, and wonderful little girl. However, she had some issues with the facility that she was at, hence making her disappear on occasion. Now, because of this, I think that might have been the reasons why people weren't too ready to describe her as disappeared. Because, after all, if you run away a couple of times and you come back, the ongoing theory is that if you disappear again, you're probably going to come back again. Now, the group home is listed for ages 7 to 18, again, located in Mesa, Arizona. Emily reportedly told the police that she didn't feel safe at this facility. And the child services department there did not take that seriously whatsoever. Because of her multiple running away, they did not consider her claims valid, more so that she was looked at as a problem child. Now that she has actually no longer be there anymore, now they're considering what she might have been saying might have validity, and possibly other kids might be in danger as well. Now, she was last seen January 27th this year, and she was seen leaving the facility and after a staff delayed reporting her missing. Again, with a history of running away, some can say we understand why. No Amber Alert was ever issued in her disappearance. None of that ever took place. Again, this was not widely publicized until the tribal groups and advocates for children like this said something or brought attention to it. On February 14th this year, her body was found. It was discovered on Highway 60. And what they said was that they discovered blunt force trauma and some signs of dismemberment. That was at least the signs of what they considered the impact of what caused her death. There was also some signs that she may have been restrained. And of course, weren't sure exactly how her body got there because it was in quite a remote ditch, and a passerby is one who found her body. Now, soon after her disappearance, the school, like I said, did not do a whole lot to bring attention, even though it had been a few days. And by the time a month rolled around, still nothing. Maybe that's how long she had disappeared before. It still doesn't answer, though, why is it that even though she ran away multiple times, why it wasn't an option for them to at least alert authorities that she was gone? Whether she disappeared on her own volition or some other reason, one would think that after even a week, you would think to yourself, that's not cool. That's not right. We need to at least bring her in, one, for at least a reprimand, or two, to find out if she's safe. That never took place. The Mesa Police Department is doing an investigation right now on three individuals that were a part and parcel of the facility. No word yet of what that has been released because they've not told the names of those individuals. We've just been told that they're under investigation. One of them may have worked there or visited the group home, but a lot of them don't know we have prior criminal histories. They're not releasing a lot of that except for one individual who they say does have a prior criminal history involving minors. Not quite sure how he gained access to the facility, or maybe he had access to her during the time that she ran away before. Again, none of that has been released to the public just yet. Now, they have a couple of search warrants out right now for residential properties, a storage trailer, and possibly a vehicle linked to the person of interest that they're looking at. So what does it really point to? What it really points to is a failure on the system itself of child services. One, because of the reporting system, and two, because of the things that they're not doing to protect children when children say something is happening. Because you remember, Emily said that she reported not feeling safe there and nothing was done. Maybe the fact that she wasn't feeling safe gave credence to her running away. It should have been a sign to child services that this was something they needed to look into, and they never did. and no one was ever held accountable for ignoring her pleas beforehand. Maybe it could be that the person that eventually abducted her and ended her life was one of the people that were friends with somebody there at the facility. She was trying to warn them about it. Nobody listened. Now there's a growing demand for something called Emily's Law. Now, with Emily's Law, if they were to put it into place, they would require immediate action when a child goes missing from a group home, improve oversight on state run foster facilities, and increase alerts of Indigenous and foster youth. Because this took place with a tribal member, Indian tribal member, there's a whole lot more emphasis on the parts of the entities that run that to make this happen. The question still remains, though, as to how. How did one person go so unnoticed, even after moments of trying to bring attention to themselves by running away? How did they drop the ball on this? Now, we've known for a long time that most of the government funded facilities that have kids in them are not really the most looked after, that you have a lot of issues going there. Children go missing all the time. In fact, to the tune of thousands a year, sometimes hundreds of thousands a year. They go missing from both these particular territorial ones to just fully state run ones throughout the country. In fact, there have been rumors that maybe up to 500,000 kids go missing every year from CPS's protections. How does that happen? And what kind of a system are you running where that even remotely becomes a possibility? Maybe you can get away with 5 to 10 a year. Maybe let's go with 100. But in the hundreds of thousands, and nobody pays any attention to why, nobody heads roll on it, nothing happens, no one gets prosecuted, no one gets arrested, and no facilities get shut down. In fact, they're just allowed to continue running like nothing happened. Maybe, just maybe, this particular incident might bring some more attention because of who the victim is. At this point, I don't care what it will take to bring attention to it. We need to bring attention to it. Because if we're saying that we're leaving these children in the protective agency, protective, and the last thing that's getting done is protection, then maybe, just maybe, the facility is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. We are looking forward to seeing what this case will yield, whether or not the people that they have in question will be named one, or whether or not they'll even face any real punishment for what took place. Whether the people that owns the facility will see any time. That may not happen either. In fact, they may find a scapegoat. We don't know. But right now, activists are definitely pushing for something to get done, anything to get done. Now, they have a couple of hashtags being used: Justice for Emily Pike and MMIWG, which is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. And that has been going on for a while as well, too. So this is an effort to try and bring attention to the holistic approach to what they call child foster caring. Maybe make the system a little bit easier to adopt a child. That might be one way, so you don't have a mass collection of children in locations, because that also is another avenue that needs to be explored. If you know more about this incident, or you may have heard about it and you do live in the Arizona area and Mesa, and you might have some ongoing information about this, please contact the local police department there, because the quicker they can get down to the bottom of this, the better for everyone. We do need to have stronger protections over these particular facilities. They say they're taking care of kids. We also need to have better oversight, so when they don't do it, they don't remain in power or in control of those children and put more in danger. When we have an update on this, we'll let you know. But as of right now, no one has been sent into jail, and not a single case has been opened against anyone, and no names have been dropped. But as soon as we know, you will too.